diet working for you? Are you curious to know? Well, today I'm going to help you figure that out. And in order for us to do that, we're going to play a little self-assessment game where the only thing you're going to need is your two hands, and in one hand you're going to keep score of your positive reactions after meals. The other hand you're going to keep score of the negative reactions after meals. And after we go through this questionnaire, what we're going to do is we're going to help understand what each one of these things mean to you. All right? So let's get started. First question is, from the moment you eat and until the next 4 to 6 hours, not 1 to 2, but 4 to 6 hours, do you feel energy and like you're on top of the world? Or do you feel like you need to IV a double espresso because you're tired and you're falling asleep and your energy is just really tanking? 2, do you feel like you have clarity of thought and like you can focus and concentrate and you have great attention span? Or do you feel like your mind is foggy, spacey, you have short attention span, you really can't concentrate? 3, do you feel like you're free of sugar or coffee cravings or starch cravings? Or are you craving this world and the next, and you want coffee and you want starches and you want sweets and definitely that chocolate and that uncontrollable craving? 4, do you feel like you're emotionally uplifted after eating and like you're just like, you feel good, you have a sense of well-being? Or do you feel like the glass is half empty, you're anxious, you're moody, and people don't really like to be around you very much because you're just snappy? 5, do you feel like after eating your belly is flat and yet you're completely satisfied and you don't think of food again for those 4 to 6 hours after eating? Or do you feel like after eating your belly's super bloated and you can't really get more food in, yet you're still feeling hungry? So you wait a while and maybe an hour or 2 later you find yourself raiding the pantry, the fridge, but you still can't figure out what was missing. All right, so the last question is, and on top of all of those things, are you in shape for your unique body, for your unique frame and your ideal weight for your unique frame? Or are you overweight for your frame? And so if you had all of the positive reactions and you have those on a consistent basis, and on top of that you're in your ideal weight, then awesome. What you're doing is great. Keep up the good work. It's working for you. If you feel that, here and there, but it's not how you feel most of the time, then you definitely do want to start tweaking your diet around, because it could suggest that you haven't really learned how to hit the spot and you're not sure yet of what really works for you. And if you hardly ever feel any of the positive responses and you're walking around feeling tired and like you can't concentrate and you're craving foods all the time and you're moody and you feel bloated and just hungry, and on top of that you're not in your ideal weight, then this is definitely an indicator that what you're eating is not working for you. And I have a lot of people come up to me and say to me, but I've tried it all and nothing seems to work, and followed all the politically correct advice, and this is what the experts told me to do, and yet look at me, like my health is going under and I feel more and more out of control of my weight. And I say to them, okay, well, you've tried everything that involves giving your power away to experts outside of you that will give you generalized recommendations that may work for another person, but are clearly not working for you. And here's the thing, we're all very different. And not only are we all very different, but we shouldn't be pursuing generalized recommendations. And most people think that just because they feel like they have the backing of an academic that is telling them to do this, that's automatically a guarantee that it's going to work for them. But if your body is speaking to you loud and clear, giving you signs and symptoms that this is not working for you because of all of the adverse symptoms that I walked you through, and obviously there's more, but this is just like a basic understanding, then but you want to stay attached to that idea that this is what you need to do, then this is going to create a lot of stress. And I think that most people today are feeling extremely stressed and confused about what to eat. And so some get very attached to this idea, oh, because this group of experts with these very impressive credentials told me that according to their research, this is what I need to eat. And so they get locked up in that. But then for other people, they realize that, oh my God, like, okay, so there's another group of researchers and experts with equally impressive credentials that are saying that that is not right and that this is how we need to eat. And so that makes people then start jumping from one extreme to the other extreme, and going through this process has some serious consequences because one, it teaches people to pick up fights with food and demonize foods just based on how other people respond to certain foods. This nonsense that's going on has nothing to do with their unique bodies, but what is good or bad for people other than them. And the second thing it does is that it starts compromising our health, because as we're jumping around with or through all these diets, this also tends to impact our bodies physically. And the thing is, the key thing here is, one, food is just so beyond weight. It's not only about our weight. It influences so many aspects of your physiology, pretty much everything. But in saying that, I'm not saying that food is everything, but it does influence most aspects of your physiology. And when I say that food is not everything, there's other factors like movement, like your thoughts, your emotions, your relationship with the sun, with light, etc. But anyway, that's a topic for another conversation. But if we have the conversation about food, it goes beyond weight loss and weight gain. And the other aspect of it is that we are all very, very different and very unique. Think about this. Our ancestors evolved in very different parts of the world, and back in the day, before supermarkets, transportation, and academics, we ate what was available in our area, and our bodies adapted to being able to extract nutrition from the foods that were offered in that area, and those genetic traits were passed down generation after generation. So our bodies, our genetics, influence a big part of what we can tolerate and what nourishes us and what doesn't. But the interesting thing is that our bodies continue to evolve with an environment. So our bodies are not static, meaning your genes are not static. They are changing, they're adapting based on how we're exposed to our environment. And that means we are dynamic, and our environment is changing as well. So all of these things put together make us extremely unique and make our body's ability to respond to food very unique. I say to people, food is not inherently, natural food that is not inherently good or bad. What determines whether a particular food is good for you or not is your body. And again, that collection of genetic and environmental and other factors. So, the key, and, when people say, yes, I was mentioning in the beginning, I've tried it all. And I said, yes, you've tried everything that involves giving your power away to people outside of you to give you generalized recommendations. But what you haven't done is you haven't gone through a step-by-step self-exploration journey to becoming an expert in you and learning what truly works for you and what doesn't, and what allows you, what is a food that allows you to feel energy, clarity of thought, no sugar cravings, feel emotionally stable, satisfied, with a flat belly and in shape for your unique frame on a consistent basis. And so this is one of the things that I love helping do, and that is helping them take their power back as they heal that relationship with food and with body image, so that they can step outside of that place they're in right now where they feel helpless and very out of control of their body. So if you feel like this is something that you need help with, contact us at Bombshell Formula so that we can help you connect with the right level of support for you. A big kiss, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.